Hey everyone, Michael aka Spirit Shard here with an early impressions for Krosmaster Arena, a free-to-play online tactical board game thing. I almost said RPG, but it's not an RPG, it has no RPG elements, but it's like a tactical board game sort of thing, and it's actually pretty kind of cool. This was originally a browser game, and normally I don't do games that were in the browser. Like, I have a few, and I was like, but this one actually sparked my interest just because, for one, the art style is kind of interesting, and number two, I kind of like simple games to play every once in a while. And so I looked at this one because it's also a tactical game, and I like tactical games. So let's go ahead and check it out. Like I just said though, it was a browser game, so normally I'd wait to do this until later, but let's go ahead and look at the options. So you got your account, and it says your account name, then you exit the game here. You got your sound options, which is kind of nice. You have global volume, music volume, and FX volume. So if you don't want the music, you just turn it off, which I normally do that, but I left it on for this recording. Language, it has a pretty decent selection of languages. It likes to freeze up whenever I click it, but yeah, it's got, you know, French, English, Dutch, Espanol, Italian, Portuguese, and Japanese. So that's nice. And then you have your display, which allows you to change your resolution and go into full screen mode. Full screen mode is in borderless, so you can't run this in just exclusive full screen from what I can tell. So this is technically borderless. I could tab if I want to. And you got key bindings. I don't know if it's a glitch or if you just can't change them, but apparently these are the key bindings. There are key bindings, but you can play the entire game with just the mouse, which is what I've been doing for the pace of this game. It's not very complex to play, and we'll go ahead and figure that out. Now, normally, right now, I would talk about the payment model, but I've decided a new kind of format. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into a single-player game in these types of games, or a multiplayer game, whatever it is. I'm going to go into gameplay, then talk about the model, and then talk about the kind of pros and cons of the game. And that's going to be my new format for this series. So if you watched my previous ones, this is going to be a little bit different. So let's go ahead and go into adventure. So there are two modes. There's adventure and arena. Arena is the multiplayer. Adventure is the single player stuff. And so you get your tutorial. So if you go into here, you get your tutorial stuff. And my phone just vibrated. Whoops. Hopefully that didn't show up in the recording. I'm going to move this so it doesn't do that. Okay. Anyways. So yes. So you get your tutorial stuff, and this will walk you through it. Once you start the game, this is where you'll start. And so you'll be doing these. These tell you pretty much how to play. But we're going to go ahead and skip forward. Every time you exit it, you do have to go back to this screen, which is slightly annoying. I hope they change that. But it doesn't take long to click on adventure again. Let's go ahead and go on to the level I haven't done yet. So I've played through 1.5 areas about, and for these you get these little things. So there's a huge difference between the adventure mode and the multiplayer mode. In multiplayer mode, you get to set up your teams. In adventure mode, it gives you characters to set up as your team. And this is pretty much what you're going to be doing when you first start the game, because to unlock them, you need currency that you get from doing these to actually do well. I've tried multiplayer and yeah, I don't have very much stuff. Anyway, so this mission that I'm on up here is to knock out the Shaman Pigwings without letting the Bibatron get to the Zap. Yes, there's a lot of random names. We'll look at what those are when we get in there. I wish it showed images for what these were. Like, oh yeah, this is the Shaman Pigwings, but you'll find it when you get in game. It does this introduction thing, we'll see that. Anyways, so for story mode, you get 5 glory. Glory is basically a character count amount, and so each character is worth a different amount of glory. And this also comes in a multiplayer. When they die, it gives the enemy glory and takes out of your glory and stuff like that. We'll talk about that later. But right now, we have 5 glory that we can fill up in your slots. So we got the 1 glory cost, then the 2 glory cost, and then the 3 glory cost. And they go up all the way up to, I think, 5 is the highest one. And so basically, I'm going to take one of these ones. Oh, we get a panda, so I'm going to take the panda because it's a panda. I'm just going to be picking random ones, except for this one. This one has a heal, so we're going to take that one. I believe this is a melee. Yeah, so that's a melee. And now I want to get a ranged one, so let's go ahead and get a ranged one. That way we have one of each type, in my opinion. So there's basically, well, I guess there's 4 types, not 3. So there's basically the melee characters that are going to be close range and they have melee type abilities. And then there's going to be the long range, which is going to have like long range attacks. And then there's going to be the magic ones. And there's going to be supportive magic and then like offensive magic. So here we can actually see the thing. I accidentally skipped the introduction thing, but whoops, whatever. Anyways, we can click on these and it'll show the little images. Where are the names? Oh, it doesn't actually show the names. Maybe if we hover over them? Yes, if you hover over them. So that's kind of annoying. So you actually have to hover over them to see the name. When it does the introduction thing, it actually shows them. Anyway, so this is the Shaman Pigwing. So we got to take care of that. What was the objective? Up here at the top left. So we have to take out the Shaman Pigwings before these Robotrons get to the portal, which means we can rotate the camera. We can look around. This is the field map, by the way. each level has a different one. Like there's a few preset ones, and they all kind of look in this little blocky style. And as you can see on the ground, we have squares. So we're trying to kill these guys before these robot things get to the portal. So let's go ahead and see how we can do that. So here we are at the start. If you've ever played anything, like any tactics games, you normally start out by positioning your units. In this game, you have preset slots on each map, so we can actually move these about wherever we want them. So I want my melee one to be up there, I assume. What's her movement status? So she has 3 moving. So I could actually talk about the character stats. We'll do that right now. Since we're not on a timer in the single player, I can actually just sit here and talk about this stuff. So the way that works is you position your units in one of these slots that you want. You can move them around wherever you want. You can swap their places and stuff like that. And each map, and I think different single player missions also have different slots. I think it's tied by map, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So don't quote me on that. I've only played like 6 different maps. There are a decent amount of maps, by the way. I don't know about multiplayer. In multiplayer, I've only been able to do a few matches because it's hard to get people. Anyways, moving on. If we click on a character, you can see over here on the bottom left, you'll have your character. On the bottom right, you'll have the enemy character selected. So when you're using abilities or clicking on them, see, I can click on both of these. So I can compare my stats with the enemy stats, which is really nice. And then you can also see all the enemies are stacked up here. All the allies are stacked over here. Over the character image, you see the green diamond thing, which has a number inside of it. That is movement. So that's how many blocks they can move. Let's go ahead and confirm selection. Oh. The enemy's already moving. Okay, well, I guess they got to move first because their intuition is higher. Talk about that in a moment. So they're going to go ahead and go through their movement. Actually, let's talk about it right now. So intuition, when we're selecting our characters, each character has an intuition. So as I'm hovering over here, you can see up in the top right of that first window that opened up, next to the blue star and stuff like that, there's a little glory symbol, which shows how many glory it's worth. And then it has the purple. That is intuition. Whoever has the highest total intuition ends up moving first. So that is something to consider when you're selecting your characters. Moving on. So we have the green, which is movement, which means, is it my turn now? Oh, I get to do my bonuses. Let's talk about this first. So basically, green is your movement. That's how many how many slots they can move. The red, aka heart, is how much health you have. So when you take damage and stuff, that's how much you can take until they go away. And then there is 6, which is basically your movement points, your action points. What did they call it in this? I don't know what they called it. It's called something. If I click on one of these, I believe it says it. No? All right, well, it's just how much action you can do. And you can actually click on these to keep it open. So even if I move my mouse, if I click on one and then move my mouse, I can actually do that. So if you're like targeting somebody with low health, you can actually just target somebody with low health that way. Or movement, you're like, oh, who's not going to be able to move? Or some abilities will take away your movement. I don't think any of these do. Nope. All right, anyways. So let's go ahead and get rid of that marker. Because that's going to be slightly annoying. So now, before you actually go for every turn, you get this kind of random roll, which is actually my first complaint, is the randomness of this game. This game has a lot of RNG in it, which, as somebody who loves tactic games, finds slightly annoying. But it does keep things slightly interesting, and there are some glory mechanics that we can talk about when we go into stuff later. So basically, what we get to do is we get bonuses. It doesn't tell you what these bonuses are here, but it does tell you in the tutorial. So there's 4 different ones. There's the crit one, which is this one, which will increase the chances that your character will do extra damage. Obviously, that's what a crit is. Then there's magnet, which actually makes it so that enemies can't run from you. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then there's also boots, which makes it so that you can get away faster or easier. And then there's also an armor one, which means basically it's your chances to block. So you take no damage or reduce damage. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and give crit to our ranged guy, and then I'm gonna cash that in for some coin. We'll talk about that mechanic in a few minutes. Now let's look at the ranged ones on this one. So she doesn't have any range, so I can't move over to there. So another mechanic of this game is you can actually buy stuff with coin while in game. These little drop things are coins. Now I sold one of my power-up things, I forgot what they're called, the power-up things at the start of the turn, and I was able to turn it into coins. So that's actually a valid tactic if you're not going to use them or you think you don't need them. So what you can also do is run around the map and collect them, and this will take up one of your action points when you pick it up. And now I have 2 coins. If you click on this little shop button, you can actually see what you can buy. So you get these little runes. Each match or map, I think it's for each map, it'll have different ability things on here that you can be like, oh, I'm guaranteed to get this one, which means I can heal for 7. But you can also get a random one, which will just give you a completely random ability. Once again, not a big fan of the RNG stuff, but it still makes it interesting because you never know what you're going to get. It's annoying in like some competitive terms, but still fun nonetheless, and some people might not mind it. Now, to buy these, you'll notice that the cost down at the bottom left shows that it's... Actually, I gotta click on it. There we go. It'll show 6 coins, so I need 6 coins, which I don't have, and then it'll take 1 action point, or whatever they call it in this game. So to actually have characters buy them, it takes points. Also, you have to be on top of one of the shop icons. So in the middle of the map, I'll zoom in on it. Right there, you'll see that it has that little skull facey thing. That's actually where the shop things are. So you have to have a character on those. So you want to end up having control over one of those slots to be able to buy stuff, which we don't have access to that at the moment. Also, when you move characters, you can move them as many times as you want, but you only have a certain amount of movement. So you can actually move, use an attack. I can't attack anything, but then I can move, attack, and then move back if I wanted to. And I'm going to move there. Also, movement does not take away action points. It's all based on the movement stuff, which I actually quite like. That adds a little bit more of a tactical element to it. So now that we're done with that character, we're going to click pass, and then we'll go on to our next one. It does show the character's order over here, as you saw. So these guys are going to go that guy, that guy, that guy, that guy, that guy. So you know which order they're going to move in. But when it turns into your turn, you're going to be doing all of your character movement anyways. So we're going to move him up to here, and I'm going to use his ranged attack, which is going to be this one. So if you look at this, they'll have different icons. So it has the action cost, well, the name of the thing, and then its power, and then its action cost. Then it'll have a little icon here. If it's an eye, that means it can attack anything it can see. I believe if it's red, it'll be anything in its range. If it's a fist, it's melee. So if I click on... Whoops, I just attacked my own character. We're going to pretend that didn't happen. Anyways, if I click on this character, and I can look at the melee punch, see that's melee. And then I believe... Oh no, this one's also sight. Well, I didn't grab one that has any in range, so that's unfortunate. Let me select a character. Okay, there it goes. Then I believe all hers are melee too. Also, there's going to be some of them to where it shows a little effect. Also, some things will cost health and stuff like that, so you'll actually see that on the ability. So that one only costs action. Then if I go back over to the panda, you'll notice this is going to take 1 health. So that's the thing. And then it also shows how many times you can use the ability. I don't believe any of these are limited. So sometimes it'll be like 1 per turn, or once per game even, or once per enemy, and so on and so forth. So you can't just spam certain abilities. Some abilities are like super special and stuff like that. Anyways, I just wasted his thing, so I'm going to move him there. Now we're going to go on to the mage. She didn't end up hurting. I ended up blocking that attack, which was quite nice. But that was a screw up, and that might end up messing up our game. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attack this guy with my magic ability, and boom. And I crit, so it hit him for 2 damage, which is nice. So as you can see, he's down 2 health. Go ahead and pass. Now the enemy's going to take its turn. The AI is not the best in this game. They don't seem to focus certain characters, and it's quite easy to actually set them up to kind of mess each other over. There's actually characters that can drop bombs. I don't need any of this, so I'm going to cash those in. There's actually characters that can drop bombs, and the AI always attacks the bombs, no matter what. Like, certain characters will always attack a bomb, which is quite annoying. Can I kill those robots? I think I can kill the robots. So let's do that. Let's see what happens if we kill the robot. So, what's that going to do? Oh, that's going to attack all around us or whatever. So, punches a Krosmaster creature back 1 cell, and penetrating moves 1 cell closer. Let's go ahead and do that. So, we're going to attack him. Boom. There we go. Now we push that penguin back, and it's lower health. And that's the end of that turn. Now, since this one's based on vision, I can't really do much from here. I probably shouldn't have moved him there, but I'm going to go ahead and pick up the coins, which means I don't have enough to attack, so his turn is over, because I don't want to move him. Now, I'm going to move... Actually, I think I want to attack first. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and attack this penguin first. Boom. And he's going to die, because he only had 1 health. I'm going to move her forward, and end of turn. Now, one of the biggest problems with this game... Oh, she died. I probably should have healed her. Okay, so right there, I'm going to talk about that caveat in a moment. When he ran by, my character swinged at him. So when a character is next to another one, so like this panda and this robot here, when they're next to each other, there's actually a chance that they'll block their movement. And so when you try to move away from them, I can't do it yet, so I'm going to try to do it in a moment. So we got to give them abilities. So I'm actually going to take that away just for the random chance of doing it. Oh, I can't actually put it on there. So only certain characters can actually have the abilities, and you can see the little swirlies around the characters I can go on. So I can actually give that person defense, but I can't give her a magnet. I don't know what constitutes that. I think that's just a learning thing, maybe. So, oh, they actually have little status things too. So if you click on one of these character things, you get that little thing. It says strength, intelligence, and automatically has lock on her. So increase the odds of lock. So that's what it's called. It's called lock. So that's what the magnet does. Since she already has lock on her, she can't actually have the lock power up. So you can't actually stack them. So that is one thing to keep in mind. You can't stack them. Did not know that, actually. I just never understood the mechanic. Anyways, we're going to give her armor. We're going to end up failing this mission anyway, so it's not like it matters. So let's try to move. So when you move, a character will actually attack at you. And I didn't get blocked, but let's try it again, see if I get blocked. See, there it goes. Now it blocked it. And what that does is it causes the character to no longer be able to move, and it also removes all your action points. So if you're locked with an enemy, there's actually a sort of kind of trade-off that you can make. You can be like, okay, I want to try to move to attack this other character, but I might lose all my action points, and then that character's turn is completely useless. Or I could attack the character that I'm locked with, which is kind of the intention, and then try to move away, which is generally how you want to do it. So really, the only case that you want to actually move, so like he got blocked when he was trying to move there, now he can't do anything. So like I was trying to move to here so that I could attack the robot, but now I can't move at all, and now my turn's over, and I got to do nothing. So generally what you want to do is you want to try to attack and then move when you're in lock. There's also the boots power-up that you can get in the beginning, and some characters will have it. I don't know what it's called, but basically what it does is it makes it so that it's easier to get away. So you won't actually have that. Anyways, he got to the teleporter. Is that going to do anything? No, he's just blocking the teleporter. So as I was saying with the AI, so the robots are trying to get to the teleporter, but now this guy's blocking the teleporter, which means there's actually no way that the robots are actually going to finish there unless all my characters die, which is probably going to happen. But we're actually going to go ahead and abandon this. And now that I talked about the mechanics... Oh wait, no, I haven't showed the shop. Never mind, hold on. Let's try and get to the shop real quick. So, there we go. Let's try and move her to the shop. There we go. Let's go ahead and look at the shop real quick. And we'll go ahead and buy one, so we can talk about how you actually equip these. So, as you see throughout the game, these ones actually increased. I don't know how that works. I think it might be random. So, do keep that in mind. It added another row of these. These weren't here before. But they have different effects, so some of them will increase damage. Some of them will give them a special weapon, which you can use as a basic attack. And then other ones will actually just give you heals and stuff like that and buffs. So this one like heals 7. So let's go ahead and grab that one. So go ahead and grab that. And now you get to select which character you want to give it to. You don't have to give it to the one that's on the shop. You can actually give it to any character. So I can give it to her, or I can give it to him. I don't know what his health is like, so he's actually down some health. So let's go ahead and give it to him. So you can click and drag, or you can just click on them. So you could click and drag it, or just double click him and it'll give it to him. Now, I can't use it on her turn. The character that I'm playing as the penguin, or penguin, wow. The panda right now, so I actually can't use it, but if it was, you can also go there. You can also click this little plus icon to bring it up as well, but I can buy another one. So let's go ahead and buy a weapon. Why not? And then we'll go ahead and click and drag to show that mechanic. Now, I believe characters have different amounts of slots on them. Like this guy can only hold 1, this guy can hold 3. I think that's tied to the amount of glory you have, because it seems to be that consistent. Like the 5 glory character that I have in my actual team can carry 5 of them. But anyway, so to activate it, you click on it, it says what it does, you can activate it, yay! And now I have this attack, so I can actually use this ability. I believe you can move them as well, but I've never actually done it. Anyways, let's go ahead and use the weapon. So now she'll actually use that weapon, and they all count as spells. So every attack in this game is a spell, as long as it doesn't specifically say melee. So this one is a melee, because it has a little fist. But this one, if you click on it, it's a spell. So all these are going to be spells, even weapons. But now that we used it, we don't have enough ability power to actually do it again, because we were at the shop. So let's go ahead and pass turn. Now on this guy, there's also active, so we can just activate it, and he'll use it instantly. So that one's a consumable spell. And now it's gone. So there's 2 types. There's the attack spells, which will actually stay there, and then there's single time use like the potion. And there you go. But anyways, let's go ahead and head back to the main menu and talk about all the other stuff. You can quit campaign without any penalties, whatever. Also, in single player, There's no time limits or anything like that, so you can actually just sit here and look at stuff for as long as you can. I actually went AFK on this game for like an hour or something like that, and forgot it was on. But yeah, it just sat there and doesn't do anything. Also, performance-wise, it runs really, really smooth. I should say it was a browser game, and so the requirements are really, really low. You can turn it and stuff like that. The turning mechanic is a little bit strange, very hard to describe. Whatever direction you point it in, it rotates, which is, it's different, but it works. You get used to it. And then you can also click around, move in. It zooms in pretty close, zooms out pretty far. You can actually go down to a top-down view, which is really, really nice for when you're just trying to observe the thing. The maps also get pretty large as well. Anyways, I'm gonna go back to the main menu and talk about the cash shop stuff, because everyone cares about that. Woo, I lost, whatever. I could have won that, but whatever. Also, loading times are fairly quick, as you probably noticed. Multiplayer-wise, it takes a while to get into multiplayer games because you have to connect to people, and different people have different loading times. But on an average hard drive on a PC, it's going to be fairly quick. So let's go ahead and look at my team. This is what we're going to be doing for the multiplayer stuff, which, as with most of these, I'll kind of target off an endpoint to the video, and then I'll play a multiplayer match if I possibly can. I've had trouble finding people on this game in the time zones that I play in, because I'm playing at night most of the time right now, and so it's hard to find people. Anyways, here's the team. So you get to actually set up your own team, and you have a certain amount of slots. It gives you team 1 and team number 2, so you can actually set up 2 different teams if you want to. And then you actually get the glory system once again. So each character will click around, and it'll have different glory values. So the ones that I have equipped are currently 3, and this one costs 4, as you can see up in the top right. And so basically, oh, that's actually level. But level also inquires how much glory they can have. But you can only have up to 12 total. And so the ones that I have equipped, I've opted to go with all 3 across the board. And so all my characters are worth the same value, and they're all about the same strength. I like it that way. You don't have to play it that way. You can do whatever. I saw one guy with all these slots filled with 2s and 1s, and he dominated my face. So the idea is you kind of want to balance out your teams. Now, because this game requires you to actually unlock these, they've decided to go with a sort of what's really common in MOBAs, which is kind of strange for this type of game, is they actually opted to have characters that are free. So up in the top left, you'll see my Krosmasters, and you'll see the ones with the little clock thing, the little stopwatch. These ones are ones that are limited time, and so they'll be available to everyone for a limited time. So I've seen these in a lot of matches. People have been using these ones, like this one's a 4-1. I've seen a lot of him. And basically, you can put these in your team, and then once they go on, like once they're no longer available, it'll be like, oh yeah, now they're not in your team anymore. So you don't get to keep them, but you can also buy them, or unlock them, as I should say. So down here, you can actually see all of them, and that one's my favorite character out of all of them. I want to get this one. I wish I could, but I'll talk about that in a minute. We're not at the cash shop yet. But basically, this is where all the ones you can unlock. There are quite a few. As in, a lot of them. I like the little images. I actually think some of the images look cooler than the actual character, but the art style of this game is very interesting. It's very child-friendly and very playful. I'm not a big fan of some of their heads. Like, some of their heads are just obnoxiously large. Like, let me find... Crone actually looks cool. I know there's one of them that just has like an obnoxiously large head for no reason. I'm trying to find it. I don't remember which one it was, but one of these, it has a head that's just, the entire thing is a head. It's ridiculous. But yeah, once again, the art style looks nice, and they all have different abilities, so you can actually look over here, and all of them, there's still some like very similar consistency. Like it's either a range attack or it's a spell, or you know, it's a melee attack, but they'll have different effects on them and stuff like that. So building your own team and kind of playing off of each other is actually a very strong point in this game. I kind of wish you had access to more of them when you start off, because the grinding bit is going to take a while. So let's go ahead and talk about the grinding bit, and go ahead and go to the shop. Now in the shop, you get to unlock them. However, everything is tied to a gacha system except for the starter pack, which gives you these 4 starter characters, and my favorite one. And this one costs $4, so you can kind of get your guess on that. It does show actual dollar values, which is kind of nice. I get tired of the point systems that every game uses. So just having straight up, it costs this much is nice. And then you have the weekly pack. So this is your weekly pack, and this one's $8. And this one will change every week, as the name would suggest. So if you're looking for a very specific one and you want to pay money, you can buy this way. Also, another way that they do it is that they have the pack things. And so all these are randomized. No matter what you buy, it's going to be random. But they'll be random within a certain set. So it's kind of like a card game. So you got your standard set, which is going to be all like the first starter ones that came out when the game first released. This was in beta for a long time. I'm reviewing it as it went into official release. However, it was in beta on the mobile version, which came with Season 1, Season 2, and Season 3. In game, it doesn't show you, from where I can tell, what characters this actually has in it, which is slightly frustrating, but you can see in the background it has characters, so I believe that's supposed to be what it is. So it's like, oh, you'll get these characters. But I believe there's more than that, because it looked like there was more in that selection thing. Maybe there's not, maybe I'm wrong, and maybe that's the characters you can get, but that's my assumption. But either way, it's random on which one you get. You can pay real money for these, or you can use the in-game currency, which I forgot what it's called. I don't quite have enough, so we can't actually open one right now, but we'll go ahead and say that. Anyway, so it costs about 150. Now to get that currency, I keep in mind it's all random. To get that currency, there's only one way to really get that currency reliably, and that is to play the single player. Now when you complete a level in single player, you'll notice that I have these little badges here. When you complete it with a different character, it'll actually give you that currency, like a little bit of currency, but you can only do it once. And so you actually have a limited amount that you can actually obtain, which is slightly frustrating for me, especially since it's random. There is a system around that though. And also I can actually select what, like, let's say I have 2 that I've completed it with. I can bring one along that I know that I haven't done it with. So let's say I have 2 that I know I could beat it with, and I can just take 1 to get that extra point too. So yes, that is a little bit grindy, as in you kind of expect for these types of games, but it is a way to get a currency, and at least there's a way to get it for free. However, there's also the challenges, which you can also earn them for. So it's like doing certain things. And you'll also notice a thing called recycling here. Now, challenges can only be completed once, and they don't stack up. So if I go here and go down to the bottom, you can only complete them once, and it doesn't unlock a new one. So this isn't infinite. So you actually have a very, finite amount of resources. But there is a system, if we go back to my team, to where you can recycle. So over here on the right, you'll see that you have these tabs. So you can actually hide the character if you want to hide them, or you can go to this little icon down here. And what this is essentially crafting. What you do is you can actually get fragments from either achievements or other means, probably like promotions and stuff, or if you have a duplicate of a character. Now, I haven't been able to unlock more characters because I haven't played enough, but you can actually recycle a character. So like, let's say I had 2 Oscars, I could recycle the extra characters that I have, because you can only have 1 in a game. And so if you have 2 of one, you can actually recycle it and you get these little fragments. And then if you select a character, you can be like, oh, it cost this many fragments to unlock this character. So this one would cost 5 fragments. So I can actually do this right now. So it's like, hey, are you sure you want to use fragments to obtain this Krosmaster? And say yes. And now I have that character forever. So yay! That's how you actually get characters. So even though you have a random chance, there's still a way that you can actually just be like, oh, I want this guy because he has a gun. And I can always, build up to unlock him. And each tier or level or whatever ends up costing a certain amount of fragments. So there's no randomization to where it's like, oh, this one costs a lot and this one doesn't. It's all based off of their glory. So if I click on here, it'll show their glory. So 3s are going to cost 18, while 1s are going to cost 5 or something like that. So there's that. Now, this is going to be essentially, oh, hey, I got an achievement. Woo, I got 10 more. Oh, hey, I just got 10 more. So we can actually, once it's done loading, the servers take a little bit to kind of get this stuff going. Can I just exit out of that and try that again? I want to claim that so I can show you guys the random box. Please. One moment. There we go. All right, so I had to restart my game. I guess there was a glitch or something like that that made it so I couldn't claim it, but I went ahead and restarted my game and I was able to collect it. So now I have 150. So now I can actually show you guys the shop thing. And then I'm going to draw this video to a close, go into a multiplayer match. So for anybody who wants to watch a multiplayer match, it will be there. Actually, I think at this runtime, I'm actually just going to put that into a separate video. I'll do a short introduction on it, and then I'll have the rest of the play in another video. I'll link it in the end slate so you can actually go and check it out. Anyways, let's go ahead and look at these. Do I like any of them in the background? Let's go with Season 2. Let's go ahead and do that. So you'll see that it lit up because I can buy it. So I'll go ahead and click on that and say yes. So this is going to give me one character, and it just took my 100 feet. And open. And I got this guy. Yay! And that's it. That's how you get him. Yeah, I know that was so exciting for that wait time. At least he's in the loading screen, so he looks awesome. Now I can go back here and it'll say new on there. It's like, oh yeah. Also, when I relogged, it told me that this character was new. So I guess there's a glitch when you obtain things that you have to reload it or whatever. So I got this guy. I don't really like the look of him. He's a level 5 though. So he's going to be a tough guy, isn't he? Yep. So he's pretty fun. Yeah, he's pretty powerful. Anyways, so yeah, I'm going to draw this as the end of the video. I'm going to go ahead and switch into a multiplayer match, and you can go ahead and check that out. If you're not interested in that, it's basically multiplayer. You may as well watch the beginning of this, but yeah, so there's ranked. Oh, I forgot to mention this. So this is important. So this game features a ranked seasons system. Now, the way that works is basically they don't have it up yet. It starts on the 9th. And this isn't the 9th in the time of my recording. Will this go up on the 9th? No, this will actually go up later today. So basically, it hasn't started at the release of this video. You'll probably watch this and it'll be started and this whole thing will be up and everything. But what it'll do is it'll actually give out season rewards, which is going to be the in-game currency. So it's going to take some time, obviously, but you can unlock all the characters for free through this season system. But you're going to have to wait for the season. So there is that. So you'll be stuck with the same characters for a while. Anyways, here's the multiplayer thing. They also have tournaments, which will have these things. So if you go into a tournament, you can actually join or create or whatever stuff. I haven't been able to do a tournament because every time I try to find stuff, it doesn't work. Ranked matches also takes me a while. Same with challenges. But I'm going to go and try and find a ranked game. So generally takes a long time. Oh my god, and no it didn't this time. Holy cow. Wow. That is actually the first time I've clicked on the button and it hasn't taken 20 minutes. So claps. That was clap. Anyways, it does this introduction thing. So we can actually look at the characters. Cool, we're going to say start combat. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and explain the one thing that's different in this is we can also say hello. Yay, hello. Anyways, yeah, so we get, these are the average size maps. So these are what? Oh, they are not nice. Really? Not cool. Anyway, so this is the normal size. I'm going to say thanks. Yeah, all right. It does have preset stuff. You can't do your chat thing. There might be voice chat and I'm talking and they can hear me. So that's fine. They're really aggressive. But yeah, anyway, so we're going to place our characters. I'm going to set mine there. I am timed for this, and so I should probably hurry. But yeah, I'm going to go to that side. Confirm placement. There we go, and I'm ready. But yeah, so there's a glory system. I didn't get to talk about the glory system. So basically in the top, not top, but bottom left and bottom right, you'll see these little counters. These are the glory amounts. I can also bring up the what happened. So this actually shows the list of events that just happened. So I got to move first, so I get to move him. So let's see, what's his attack range? So I'm going to use this real quick. 1 second. Use that. But yeah, the glories works off of that character level like I was saying before. And so, oh, I can't move. Ha, that was a waste. I just wasted my turn. I say oops. But yeah, so the glory system works on the character's level. So when you're looking at your character level, that's actually how much glory when they die. You'll lose that glory and your enemy will gain that glory. And you want to kind of make it so that if they run out of glory, they lose. So you want to kind of earn enough glory that they can't take you out, or you just want to run theirs to the ground. Also, in the pre-pass turn, if you select 2 of the same ability, it will actually lower both of your turns' glories. So if you, like, let's say you get two crits, you can be like, oh, I'm going to decrease your glory. So these things, if they both match, it'll actually decrease both of your glory. And you'll also get, sometimes you'll get to pick which one, like one of them is. And so you can actually be like, oh, I want to drop both of our glories, or oh, I don't want to select this one because I don't want to drop both glories. And that's pretty much the sum of it. And the rest of it plays just like the single player, except that we're playing against an actual person. I like this guy because he's moving quick. This is actually the first match that's actually been pleasant for me in multiplayer. So far, I'm going to cash those in because I don't need those. So I can cash those in for coins. So far for multiplayer, except for this one match, it's taken me a while to find matches, and then it's also been fairly boring, as in people take a long time to make their selection. But I guess this guy's awake, probably just woke up or something. He's like, yeah, let's go. Or he's been up all night playing something. And I'm just like, here. Yay! But yeah, so if you want to watch the rest of this game, you can go ahead and listen to my normal commentary. I'm going to go into my jokesy Spirit Play self, so you can go ahead and watch that if you want. Otherwise, this has been Michael, aka Spirit Shard, taking out Krosmasters. Go ahead and click on the end slate for other stuffs. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure, like, if you see a game that you want to see an early impressions of or a review of, make sure to send it my way, because I am turning reviews into an official series of the channel. And so there's going to be a lot more early impressions and a lot more review type stuff. So make sure to check that out. Also, this guy looks like he knows what I'm doing, or what he's doing, and I'm like totally screwed because I suck at this game. It is very, very simple, but it's actually very, very complex at the same time. Like, there's a lot of tactical stuff. I saw one guy where he actually set up one character that had high defense, and then he had an archer shooting from behind him to push him forward to move him into my team to blow me up. It was terrifying. So there are actual tactics and stuff, and characters can synergize quite well. Also, there are timers on everyone. Also, awesome. Once again, don't need any of those. So I believe now I can actually attack someone if I wanted to. So I'm going to move him there. Now I'm going to check what are their stats. I probably should have done this at the start of it. Normally the first thing I would do is I would actually click on everyone. So I can go ahead and click on everyone and see what everyone is doing. So I kind of want to target the ones that can hit me from range and the ones that can give me a lot of glory. So I think I want to target that guy. Oops, clicked on the wrong spot. As I said early in the video, this is all mouse control. You can use the keyboard shortcuts, but I don't. I can actually attack twice, so I'm going to attack twice. There we go. And then that's going to be then my turn. I accidentally clicked on that. Oh, there's one thing I forgot. When you have 10 coins, you can actually glorify or whatever. So if I click on this, it'll give me glory. Yippee, I have one glory. And that's the end of that. So you can collect coins and get glory. So you can actually just collect a bunch of coins that are on the map. Move her there. Collect the coin. Ooh, armor, dodge, and lock for one turn. Nope, I'm gonna go over here. Pass. Oops, I clicked on the wrong square again. I'm quite good at that. Very early in the morning, I don't know what I'm doing yet. I probably should have gotten close to heal her, but oh well. Gonna go ahead and pass. Now it's the opponent's turn. He's getting lucky. He's getting the stuff that I actually want. Right, so he gave her his archer crit. That's unfortunate. That's gonna hurt. Yep, now my character's down. So now that my character went out, I lose that glory. They gain that glory. I've lost this game. Oh well. Oh, he just used an ability to actually get glory from me too. Man, this game is not looking great for me. As I said, I'm not very good at this game. What does that do? Oh, that just sunders the map. Alright. I had actually never clicked on that button. The animations are quite nice too. I like the animations. They're very, very playful. Very stylized. Your turn! Oh, I can get a crit! Yay! I'm gonna put crit on someone. That one, I guess. Actually, I can't even reach anybody, so cash in. Right, I'm just gonna basically intentionally lose this one. Oh, you can actually signify where they want to move as well, which is quite interesting. So I want him to move that way. Oh, I can't reach. Well. Let's go ahead and click on a random one. Try our luck. Single use spell. It isn't unlimited. But a style. So let's go ahead and put that on the panda. Because it says panda on it. It's going to be the end of his turn. Now, she actually has range, so I can move her up here and actually do some damage. Yay! Take that. Yeah, and I did a 2 damage. Sweet, sweet. And I can pick up the coin and end that character's turn. Now I got my healer. None of them are low, so they just get to sit there and do nothing. Opponent's turn. This game does look very polished. Like, everything looks soft, and it looks really nice. Just what I like. The UI is a little bit larger than I would like, but that's just a personal thing. I like small UIs. Also, I only have one glory, so if I end up getting a match on my pre-turn thing, I end up losing. So you can win two different ways. You can either run the other person on a glory, which is generally how you're going to win, or you take out all the enemy's characters, which isn't going to happen too often. I'm getting absolutely destroyed. I probably should just surrender, because I can surrender, but it impacts your rankings. Not like losing doesn't, but yeah. There is ranking in this game, obviously ranked. That's how it works. Alright. It'll be my turn now. This is actually my biggest problem with the game, is the amount of time it takes to get through turns. Like, the animations do take time. They look nice, and it's nice for a casual thing. I should just kill myself now. But I'm gonna keep trying, because I'm a good sport. There we go. So they're pretty low, so... Oops, I did not mean to click that. Oh well. Right, I am just making so many mistakes. Move him there. Use the Hellsteel attack. Oh wow, I hit a whole 3. That was a pretty high damage one. And now that's going to be the end of that character's turn. Move this one here, and we're going to heal her up. My lovely little panda girl is going to be my main unit over here. There we go. Once again, with the whole RNG, I never know how much something is actually going to heal or not. Yay, they said nicely done. I lost. Well, that's the end of that. Whoop, whoop. And I assume it shows you right. So yeah, that has been, once again, with another outro slate. This has been Michael, aka Spirit Shard, with Krosmaster Arena. Make sure to check it out if you like these types of games. It's quite fun. It's definitely more casual, but it's simplistic but complex enough with depth that I'm just terrible at it, which is unfortunate. The RNG really throws me off a lot. But make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll throw the end slate up again. Just go up there. There you go. Enjoy the videos. Click on them. Whatever. And, you know, I might do videos on this later in the future because I actually do enjoy playing it. And I like the art style. So, you never know. You might see this on the channel some other time as well. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe once again. I don't know what to say in these outros. I never do. That panda looks hilarious. I love it. Whoever designed this one, you deserve a raise.